Big time.
Straight and chip.
Car slides to the inside. It's Johnson for the second time. And that
just snapped.
One car up in the wall. Truex.
So he made a
screen.
Quite enough room.
Just by a couple inches, but that's all it takes
Just
at that
clipped.
point in the corner. Made.
Watch the 83 get a little. Did he get a little loose here?
Yeah, that right there is exactly where Kyle Busch hit 2 years ago, and that was not protected like it is now. So good job.
Timothy Peters is right now. You want to be a part of that closing outside lane? Oh! Contact and into the wall.
Hang on to it here, man. Hold the brake.
Oh, the 19 of Austin Cindric hard into the wall.
Looked like Chase Briscoe got into the back of the 18 of Noah Gragson.
Wow. A lot of damage. We also talked stage racing.
Youth versus experience.
We talked everything that could lead to us seeing the biggest crash fest we've ever seen with these young, inexperienced racers pushing too hard too soon.
What a disappointment, that 18 there of Noah Gragson. There's the 29 of Chase Briscoe and the 98 of Grant Enfinger. They weren't involved, it doesn't seem, but the 19 of Austin Cindric, heavy damage to the front end of his Ford.
Yeah, that's the problem though with this situation here. We've got young drivers like Austin Cindric, Noah Gragson. They don't have any time to learn anything here. They're going to be out here on the second lap of this race, and they have such an opportunity to learn here, and they're not going to be able to do it. See the 66 of Ross Chastain, the 16 of Ryan Truex Jr. Look at John Hunter Nemechek, one of our pre-race favorites, with a lot of damage.
I thought I saw his father Joe sliding toward the infield too, but maybe not.
Stuart Friesen in the 52, also Clay Greenfield in the 68.
Check it out right here that's the area in which it looks like this accident starts. Right there, just an awkward push from the 29 truck of Briscoe into Gragson, and these guys scatter from there.
The track gets blocked.
You hit that grass over there, it tears the nose off the truck. Look at that wreck. They're still wrecking late into it.
Down in the grass.
At that point, it becomes like a spider web, just catching trucks.
Look, it was just a situation where it looked like Gragson went up, and Briscoe was on him, and they made contact.
Yeah, the 7 of Brett Moffitt had that outside line. It was a little bit seized up there, so we talk about how the fact you can't hardly see through these trucks very well. He was slow, and looked like Chase just got in the back of Noah just a little bit.
Or did he?
But it doesn't take much. All it takes is the slightest bit of contact.
It looked like Gragson maybe was just trying to maneuver in behind the truck ahead of him and could have gotten loose.
Clay Greenfield with the best opportunity to have a great run here. He's in this.
It has every sign that he hit him, but that one angle, Phil, it didn't look like he was up on him when the truck started weaving.
Hard hit for Austin Cindric, that 19 truck into the outside safer barrier. Let's ride along with Austin Cindric, see what he saw here.
Right. Right in front of Chase. Chase in front of the 18, one in front of you. Easy up. Go low. Back it down, back it down.
Just needed a couple of feet, Phil, and he's through on the inside.
Yeah.
How about this time from the 24 of Scott Lagasse Jr.? Watch it.
Inside only. Get on their door inside. Inside only. You have more help coming here. Go on, check up. Stay at the top. Hurry up. Watch the demograph. Get on the brake. Clear down.
He could have escaped without any damage, Phil.
Yeah,
just
very
sort of
minor contact there, it looked like.
Slid through.
Right in the middle of it all was that 29 truck of Chase Briscoe.
And one precious playoff point here for the guy that wins this stage. Oh, and they're going to crash.
Bell and Moffitt contact, and the caution is out. And for the second year in a row, Christopher Bell involved in an accident. Significant damage to the 7 of Moffitt.
I don't think there's a great deal of damage to the Christopher Bell's truck, but Brett Moffitt more than likely is terminal.
He's done. Bell, for the second year in a row, Vince, all 4 wheels off the ground. That thing caught some air off turn 4.
Heartbreaker for Moffitt as he was running up in the front.
I'm telling you, nobody races any harder than these truckers.
Oh man, that makes me a mess.
Remember, Brett Moffitt is on the clock now. He has 5 minutes to make repairs and be able to reach minimum speed back on the racetrack.
This is just bump drafting gone bad.
Watch the 23 of Spencer Gallagher. Like he might have just gotten into the back end of that 7 truck.
He
just
got out
enough.
he got out to the right side of the bumper, Vince, and I think that's what turned Brett Moffitt around.
Luckily, no more than just a couple involved. You can see right there.
Maybe that's why Matt Crafton dove out of that pack with a couple laps to go.
Contact between Peters and Bell. Can Bell gather it in? Definitely some contact. And the 5 of Corbin Forrester through the grass tears up the front end of that.
A lot of damage to Bell's truck. I don't know that he was trying to pit or not, Phil, but he got.
I don't think he was. I think he just had a little bit of help.
Got real low on the track.
Yeah.
That's where we talked about where you can't have any bumping. You're in the banks. You come to the flat of the exit of 4. So vulnerable right there.
Bell took multiple contacts and still somehow gathered it up. But you see significant damage to that Tundra.
The 2 GMS cars that were serving their trucks that were serving their penalty, Gallagher and Lagasse, are now being shown 1 lap down because of the penalties.
One of them.
Watch the replay here. The Timothy Peters in that white truck.
He got a little bit sideways, I think, Mikey.
Yeah, just loose. And Peters just does an amazing job of avoiding this accident. And then Corbin Forrester would just really know where to go.
Yeah. Look at all the damage the grass did to the 5 of Forrester's truck.
Right along with Christopher Bell. Second time he's had an issue in that spot tonight.
Especially with somebody behind pushing Timothy.
And if I'm Matt Crafton with my experience and Timothy Peters behind me.
Oh, John Hunter Nemechek is around.
No caution yet. There's the caution.
And the caution is out. You see all the damage that Nemechek has suffered throughout the course of the night already.
Well, here's the big question. We've seen teammates work together all night long. The leader of the race take the outside. The guy in second, let him in when they throw the green. There's only going to be a couple of laps to go. Does Johnny Sauter say, okay, Kaz Grala, I'm going to let you have that inside line, but I'm going to take the outside. You have to let me in. Does he trust that he gets let in?
There's John Hunter. Just gets a little bit loose coming off the corner. It gets away from him. His dad, Joe, did an amazing job to avoid him.
And that's right there where we talked about exiting the corner from the bank to the flat right there, loose.
Just when it flattens out, that rear goes around, keeps it out of the outside wall. But remember, though, we had a restart early in the race when GMS did that. But Christopher Bell from the outside got such a good push, they got it in between GMS trucks.
It's the 3rd time that John Hunter Nemechek has gone around today. Didn't actually hit anything on that particular spin. Was running 12th at the time. Watch it from the onboard of the 4 of Christopher Bell. That's Nemechek just ahead in that black and yellow number 8.
That's what you call loose off. You call your crew chief and say, I think I'm a little loose off. That's next. Nemechek will get service on that 8 truck.
Keep digging.
They're crashing. Rhodes into Crafton.
Keep digging. Damn.
Crafton up and over.
And Kaz Grala looks to me like will win this race.
Huge crash at the end on the final lap. And Kaz Grala, the youngest driver in the field, the youngest driver to win a pole award in NASCAR's Touring Series history.
We'll have to wait and see NASCAR, but he sure looked like he was the one that emerged with a lead.
I can see. No surprise to me that exiting the corners when the trouble happened. It just was a very aggressive push.
Yeah, it looked like Grant Enfinger was trying to help. Ooh, look at Matt Crafton up and over.
There's Johnny Sauter up in the middle of the mess. Greg Enfinger was pushing right there when the track flattens out.
Yep.
Around goes the 27, catches Crafton, who thought he was home free.
Exactly in that spot where you said you didn't want to be pushed, where the track changes a little bit of that elevation.
It's nearly impossible to do it cleanly, and this is just way too much right here. Enfinger would have been much better off just to tap his partner, tap his buddy past Crafton, but he got too aggressive. It's the last lap, you understand that. But look at the impact by Timothy Peters. And look at Gralla just sneaking through that hole.
Right through the middle. And how about Austin Wayne Self right behind him? Chase Briscoe as well as Crafton goes up and over. Wow.
30-some hundred pounds of race vehicle just floating around like a feather. That tells you how fast these guys are going and how crazy things get at the end. He's still not on the ground.
Watch it all from the 24 of Scott Lagasse.
Leap bump it, stacking, stacking, stacking. Keep rolling outside, bottom three, close the door on the bottom. Get down, get down. Truck, watch it spin, keep rolling, watch it spin, get through it.
How crazy was that view of Crafton over there? We're gonna see that again. Now look, he comes out.
Work back all the way back. Still three with help. Still three with help. Reckon. Hang on to
Timothy
it there.
never even had time to back off, guys.
Now from Christopher Bell.
Three mid. Easy, come middle. Keep coming middle. Keep coming middle.
That looks straight out of the movies.
Yeah,
I mean, you couldn't believe that truck could fly over like that.
Like a little movement there inside Allgaier's machine. Eric Jones, Daniel Hemrick. My goodness, are we going to have any cars left?
There's in it, and Matt Kent's is.
And Ty Dillon and Eric Jones are earned, and they pile up behind him.
14, 48. I mean, the whole crowd. There's a 10.
4. 3 cars spin down to the inside trying to save it and stay off the wall, and Stenhouse, Bain
To come up. Yeah.
Yep, exactly
You can
what
see
happened.
Chase tried to back out the last second. He realized that he was going to come up. Just